Hello, folks. I'm OdinSpack, and welcome back to 33 years and counting of my favorite games. This is part 19, the year 2004. Now, I know last video was a doozy. It went on pretty long. It was like the longest one I've done. Uh, this one will be the same. There's a lot of games to talk about here. So I am going to try and be faster here because I actually have even more to talk about in this one. So I'm going to try my best to just lightning fire these honorable mentions and not spend too long on them. So let's get going with the honorable mentions, starting with Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. This is a Game Boy Advance game. It would later get a remake on the PS2 that is more in line with how the Kingdom Hearts games are now, like 3D. But this was like this is a Game Boy Advance game, so it's like sprite based. It's a like isometric when you explore the world, but in combat, it's like I don't know how to really place it. Like it is action, but it's like 2D. Honestly, I like playing this one on the Game Boy Advance a lot more than the remake because it was designed for the Game Boy Advance. It feels a lot easier to hit things in this game, just due to the nature of it being 2D versus a 3D space. Once you learn how the card mechanic works, the game gets so much fun. I think it's a bit of a struggle for figuring out how like the mechanic even works in the first place. But once you figure that out and once you find a gameplay style that you enjoy, because you really there's like all bunch of strategies you can use due to the nature of it being a card game. Like it's an action game, but it is a card game at its core. And so that allows you to have so many different strategies. There's tons of different skills in that. And once you just find a kit that like you love, it's super awesome, and it allows you to you gotta think outside the box for some of the boss fights. And I definitely remember doing like the final boss a lot of times, figuring out like what to do. Um, but it was a lot of fun. Speaking of struggle, the 13th struggle, one of the unique boss themes in the game, is actually really good in the game. And most of the other music is not that great because, like most Game Boy Advance games, songs created for the Game Boy Advance are typically good. So like I said, a unique song for the GBA. Songs created as a remix for the GBA typically not as good. So music's kind of hit or miss in it. But that song's really good. And it's kind of crazy hearing like the new version. I mean, it obviously sounds better now, but it's crazy hearing the original GBA version and be like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. That sounds really close to the original, like, or not to the original, but that sounds really close to how it's like modernized on consoles now. So anyway, let's keep moving. This one will be quick. Mega Man Anniversary Collection. It's on, I believe, GameCube, PS2, and Xbox. I have it on GameCube. It's a bit wonky because it's the GameCube controller and it's like B to jump and A to shoot, which it's weird. Like playing like regular Mega Man games, it doesn't make sense. But it if you play Metroid Prime where that's the controls, it doesn't like as long as you get yourself in that mindset, it makes sense. And it's not the worst. It's not the worst controls once you get used to it. It's literally two buttons. Um, but I think it later came out on the Xbox, and you could map to like which buttons you want to jump and shoot on, which is probably how they should have had it on the GameCube in the first place. But it has Mega Man's 1 through 8 and two of like the arcade fighters. It's solid. The Sims 2, the PC version I'm talking about. I think it later got console versions. I don't think they're like 1-to-1 or anything like that. This is the last Sims game I played. I think it's the strongest one of the ones I've played. I didn't really have much interest in playing 3 or 4. I'm sure they're fine. But I loved The Sims 2 because it took kind of everything that I enjoyed about the original Sims and put like it gives you like aspirations. Like it gives your characters like goals to shoot for. They age. So like your Sims eventually die. I mean, there's lots of cheats to prevent that and whatnot, but if you're just playing it like vanilla, then there's like you have more than just like trying to make a bunch of money. There's like family goals. You have little mini goals. Each character has a lifetime goal. It is truly a sandbox game. You can do whatever you want, like as far as that's concerned. So you kind of have to go into it with that mindset. But if you really enjoy Sims gameplay, this is a good one. So it's one if if you like the simulation style game, you should give The Sims 2 a shot. And I don't know how you're gonna get your hands on it nowadays, but if they ever decide to re-release it on something, then you should play it. And then my last honorable mention is X-Men Legends. I don't have a lot to say on this one. I played this all the way through on, I want to say GameCube, but it may have also been Xbox. I actually own it on Xbox now, but I haven't played it. But we did rent this and beat this when it came out. It's I was really hooked on it because it plays like Diablo, which you guys know I love that style of game. I've said that in the past before, spoilers. Um, but I really love Diablo style top-down action gameplay, and the X-Men are super cool. I love the X-Men. I really enjoyed the movies. I enjoyed a bit of the series growing up. So this is just like you get to use a bunch of the different characters. You choose your favorite four, and there's a whole story, and it has Diablo style gameplay, and that you have skill trees, and you can choose what skills you want to go into. Uh, the sequel is more fleshed out. I didn't give it an honorable mention because I never did finish that game. But the first one I think the first one's like a better like story. I think it's got more of the package together. Whereas the second one might have better gameplay, honestly, just due to the nature of how it works. But I think I have more fond memories of the first one. All right, there's the honorable mentions. That may have gone on a little longer than I thought. Let's go to our bronze medal for 2004. My bronze medal for 2004. And that's going to go to Pokemon Colosseum on the Nintendo GameCube. This is part of the Generation 3 Pokemon games. Or at least, like, you can... Like, it lines up with that, like, that generation. Like, it has all the same Pokemon and whatnot. Most of the Pokemon in this game are from Johto or Gen 2. Not all of them, but most of them are that you can obtain, because this game introduced a weird mechanic where you steal Pokemon from opposing trainers, but not any Pokemon though. You can only steal Shadow Pokemon, which you then turn into regular Pokemon. And it's kind of a neat feature because it makes like every trainer battle like kind of intense. Like, oh, there's gonna be a catch in this battle. I gotta try and get it. And it's like there's like determined team members in this game. Now, I mean, it's a smaller roster than most Pokemon games. I mean, I guess you could say like in any Pokemon game, as long as the Pokemon's catchable, then it's a potential team member. But like as opposed to being able to get like 20 Psyducks or something and like choosing the best one, in this game, like there's one Quilava, for instance, and like you either like that one or, and that's a really bad example because normally there's only one starter Pokemon. There's one Pluzzle in this game, and like that's it. Like you either use that or you don't. Like that's it. Yeah, Quilava was a bad choice. I like the mechanic. It's neat. It's not a long game, which I appreciate because I'm not when I play RPGs nowadays, they're kind of long. Colosseum's not too long. Definitely a companion piece to owning one of the Gen 3 games, because you can connect your like Pokemon Ruby or Sapphire to the GameCube with the GameCube to GBA Game Link cable. Really complicated stuff, but you can trade between it and that. Guess who did all that when he was younger? This guy. But on its own, it is a full game, unlike Pokemon Stadium, for instance, where it is pretty much just a battle simulator. This is actually a game you can just play on its own. You don't need anything else. And I mean, yeah, you technically can play those games without anything else too, but you're definitely missing out. And you're probably missing out a bit if you don't connect this to Ruby and Sapphire. However, you you miss out less. You miss out less if you don't connect those games. It is still a fine game. It has a good story, and the soundtrack is bopping. The soundtrack for this game is fantastic, and all the battles are double battles, which is a little weird. They really tried to like push that, I guess. But it makes for a unique standalone game that you're really not going to see elsewhere. Although there was a sequel, XD, on GameCube, which I never played, so I don't know. It's probably, maybe it's better. I don't know, but whatever. I liked Coliseum. All right, my silver medal for 2004 is going to go to Mario Golf Advance Tour on the Game Boy Advance. Could you imagine that? This is probably my favorite Mario Golf game, bar none. And that includes Toadstool Tour, which is the companion piece to this game. The intended thing they want you to do is to play through Mario Golf Advance Tour and then connect to Toadstool Tour to upload your super powered character, because you get your character will get way better than any of the characters you can use in Toadstool Tour at some point. Like, they just will. But that's kind of the fun of it, though. It's not going to be immediate, so like there's that going for it. But even if you don't own Toadstool Tour, this is a fantastic game. There is so much to do. Like, it's got a full story mode. It's got a ton of courses, ton of mini games, and then even once you beat the story mode, there's like tons of side content to do with tournaments. Like, there's not ring shot in this game, but they're called go-go gates because like it's on Game Boy Advance, so there's no 3D. So you shoot between gates as opposed to rings. It's the same thing, but there's like tons of that. You can play this. You can play this multiplayer, 4 people on one cart, but you can like pass off the Game Boy Advance between each other. And there's like exclusive multiplayer go-go gate courses too, like for 2, 3, and 4 player. There's so much in this game. There's a ton of characters to unlock. Lots of references to the original Mario Golf on Game Boy Color, which I did not know going into this game. I was super excited to see that. And this game has the custom clubs feature, which basically allows you to modify your character's stats, which like in the game itself, it's somewhat okay. Like, it's cool. Like, you can do that with your characters because you can level them up and change their stats anyway, so it's not a huge deal. However, this game truly shines when you connect it to Toadstool Tour. So I did list all a bunch of things that I really did like about it on its own. There's a lot more going for it. The music is actually pretty good for being a Game Boy Advance game, even though a lot of them are Toadstool Tour remixes. Not all of them are, though. Some of the match play themes are bangers. But when you connect this to Toadstool Tour, not only do you transfer over your custom characters, who again are going to be super overpowered, but you also transfer over all the custom clubs into Toadstool Tour, which means that any of the standard Mario cast in that game, you can now see their stats completely, because it's kind of vague a little bit to their stats, but you can see them completely, and you can mess with their stats with the custom clubs too. Some really like insane things you can do. Like, you can give there's one of the really funny custom clubs makes your shots like you have to hit a perfect shot, or else it like goes like OB basically. But like, it insanely ups your drive distance. You can get PD Piranha, who like already has like the highest drive distance in the game. You can get him like over like 400 yards like on a regular shot, and like 450, 460 on a power shot. There's absolutely ridiculous. You can just like hit it onto par 5, like onto greens in one go with those clubs. And I mean, your custom character will eventually be able to do that anyway, because they'll probably be stronger than him. But just like off the get-go, you can do that. It's like really fun stuff. You can mess around with that game. Unfortunately, how I said that this game shines with Toadstool Tour, a lot of content in Advanced Tour is locked behind Toadstool Tour. So the intended thing is to pretty much play through Advanced Tour and do most of everything in the game. Go to Toadstool Tour and then do everything on that game with your custom character, because you bring back data onto that game that's like character unlocks. There's all of these like Mario variant courses that you unlock through Toadstool Tour, like half, like you. This game has a lot of unlockables. Advanced Tour, like every original course in that game has a star hole, which like makes it like Marioified, and half of them are locked. I think half of them are locked to Toadstool Tour. So that kind of sucks. You can't do everything on its own. Um, but if you do have all the pieces to put together, you like this is like I said, just one of the best Mario Golf experiences. Unfortunately, one of the things that I've had trouble with, and I was originally gonna do a let's play of this game, when I've used the Game Boy player, I've noticed there's like insane lag with it. Because if there wasn't insane lag, you could very easily get four people together on the Game Boy player with four controllers, and you could play just one cart of the game, and you could play four player because the Game Boy player allows you to play like every controller in the Game Boy player counts as player one, which is all you need for Advanced Tour. Like I said, you can play four players on one card on this. You just pass it around. So like it's like almost designed for the Game Boy player if it didn't have weird lag on it. And it's very noticeable because like with the power meter, that's what ruins it. But man, like this would honestly, this might always be my gold medal game if like the gold medal game I didn't just love like forever. But like it would be in contention if it just had that Game Boy player functionality. Like it's like it does, but like it's not ideal. All right. Let's get going into my gold medal because I could keep talking about Mario Golf Advanced Tour forever. It's awesome. Play it. But let's go into my gold medal game for 2004. I'm wearing the shirt right now. It's Tales of Symphonia for the game for the Nintendo GameCube. I was just gonna say GameCube, but whatever. Nintendo GameCube, and it would later see a remake on the PS3 and PC, which is okay. I think honestly, I think the GameCube version's the better one because it plays how it well first off is how it was intended to be played because that's what it came out on. But for some reason the original version runs at 60 frames per second and the remake runs at 30 and like I know people are like, well, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, trust me, it's noticeable. it's it's like kind of dumb, honestly, that the remake is like that or the remaster. Anyway, I love Tales of Symphonia. I this must have been one of the best rentals I ever made. I had no idea this was a series at all. I remember seeing it. I think I saw it in a Nintendo Power. I want to say. I wasn't gonna say Game Magazine. I think that's what I was about to say. Nintendo Power. I don't know why I'm trying to hide that Nintendo Power is a thing. I remember renting it, and I thought it was super cool. I loved how it played. I loved that uh, it was like Street Fighter esque. I had I don't know if I had played this before or after, but I remember my brother actually introducing me to a translation patch for Tales of Fantasia on SNES, and I don't know if that was after Symphonia. I think it was. Um, but that's not important. I didn't know anything about Symphonia. But I remember renting it. I had a lot of fun with it. I didn't get very far. There's a beginning part where I definitely got really confused. I went the wrong way. Um, I won't get into that. Anyway, I would later get this game on my birthday. I bought it used, so it wasn't brand new. But what's really cool about Tales of Symphonia is it actually did release on my birthday when I was 15. So it has like a special connection just for that, for it coming out on my birthday. I think that's really cool. At least in North America, anyway. I don't know about Japan, but at least in North America, it came out on my birthday. Uh, like I said, the combat system of the Tales of series is so fun, and it took me almost playing the whole game to realize how fun it was. Like I was already having fun, but I'm probably like three quarters through the game, I realized that you could link the more basic special moves into the more advanced ones to make like super combos, and I felt so stupid that I didn't know this, and the game just got infinitely funner, more fun, infinitely more fun. Like it's just such a fun game to play. I keep saying fun, but man, all of okay, most of the characters are really fun to use. I mean, like the mage characters, Genus and Rain. Like, am I gonna go out of my way to play as them? Probably not. Um, but I love playing as Kratos. He's super cool to use. He uses magic and swords in combat. He gets some really cool stuff later on that lets you like link it in his combos. Like just super neat stuff. Like you gotta check out some combo videos online. I mean, it definitely might spoil some stuff for you. So maybe if you've played the game, check out some of the combo videos and see what you've been missing. Because there's just some insane stuff you can do in the game. Some just really neat stuff. Um, I love the combat system in this game. I thought I mentioned 2 videos ago when I was talking about Tales of the Abyss that I thought I liked that game more than Symphonia, and I think I did for a bit. But the combat system of Symphonia just draws me back in, and Tales of the Abyss Tales of the Abyss mostly has the same combat system, but Tales of Symphonia is just so fast. Like I love how fast the moves go. And I think that's the difference. Is it feels so fast. Your hits just feel like they connect. When you get blocked, it's the worst feeling. And that's kind of the problem I've had with future titles. Like when I was playing Tales of Vesperia, I some of my hits just didn't. This didn't feel like they had the impact that they did in Tales of Symphonia. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the hit stun. I don't know, but Symphonia just has such a fun combat system, and the multiplayer would almost be like it's almost flawless. The only thing that it's missing is that they just didn't account for people playing this multiplayer, even though they put it in, because the camera only focuses on player one when you play multiplayer. And so like there's times where like your other characters won't be on screen because of that. And that's the only thing that ruins the multiplayer for this game. And it's weird because when you die and like first player is controlling like the AI is controlling first player, the camera zooms out and you can see the whole field. And I wish it just did that when you were playing multiplayer. They fixed that for later games like Tales of the Abyss. The camera's fixed for multiplayer because I played that one multiplayer, no issues. And like it's like the only thing like keeping it from just being like perfect. I love this game so much. I haven't even talked about anything. I just talked about how fun it is to play, and that's it. I haven't even mentioned like the cast is amazing. Lloyd is one of my favorite characters in gaming in general. Kratos is too. Just absolutely love the both of them. Their motivations are just great. The story, the music. My boy Matoi Sakuraba, just like man, it's got everything. This game is everything. One of my favorites of all time. I don't know where it ranks nowadays, but it's probably a top 5 for me. I really need to replay this one soon. Hopefully, hope there's when I'm recording this, there's a direct tomorrow. Maybe there will be news of a remake of Symphonia that will fix all the issues that I wanted, or a Tales of collection that allows you to play these games online multiplayer. That's like the only thing stopping this series from being perfect is if you could just play the games online. Like I know people that love this game and I'm just never going to play multiplayer with them because they don't live anywhere near me. So, anyway, Tales of Symphonia is awesome. Play it. You can get on PC. When it came out, it was kind of rough, but it's since been patched and it's fine. So definitely check that out. It usually goes on sale on Steam for like less than like I think like $5 or less. Like wait till it goes on sale for that. Absolute steal. Like one of the best RPGs ever made. Um, And if you don't agree with me, well, whatever. You spent like $5 or less on it, right? So like, it's fine. All right. I told you this was gonna be a long one. It was inevitable. I was gonna talk about Tales of Symphonia. It was gonna happen. I knew it. So there's no point dancing around it. Next time, uh, next video might be even worse. So, or even longer, I should say. So thank you so much for watching. I've been OdinSpack, and I will see you next time for a probably very lengthy part 20. So until then, take care. Goodbye.